Hey Gemini, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, we leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to shoehorn it into your life. If I don't catch your wavelength on this one, go check your other major placements or any other placement or aspect that you identify with and you really appreciate about yourself and you think about a lot. So major placements are usually Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and whatever strikes your fancy. Let's see here. We're starting out with the Oracle of Mystical Moments here with a couple that popped out right at the beginning that I didn't pay any attention to. And then we're going to move to a regular, more traditional tarot spread with the Santa Muerte tarot deck. So we have pure nature here. All right, Gemini, you have changed. Something's changed. A new leaf has been turned. Some sort of part of your life has leveled up already. We were talking about leveling up with somebody else earlier, another sign earlier. So this is a card that sort of summarizes someone else's entire reading. But this is you've leveled up. We often turn over a new leaf, but this isn't a new leaf. This is because the wind comes through and can turn that leaf back over, right? This is a development. You've gone from bud to flower. You've become more who you are, more who you're meant to be in this life and in this world, and you're not going back. There's growth where we backslide, and then there's growth where there's not going to be any backsliding. And this is growth. The rose never goes back to the bud. You're never going back into the bud stage. You have grown, you've developed, you've become more of who you truly are. You've found and connected with that and developed that, and you're not going back to who you were before. So if you were worried about that, that's not happening. So it's like it's a puberty card, basically, some sort of irreversible change. You're never going to be the child that you were. You're never going to be the level of immature that you were in the past, or inexperienced, or incapable, or whatever you were back there. You have something, you have leveled up, that cycle is complete. You have the moon in back, so maybe you're dreaming of the next level now. You've leveled up, and now you're dreaming about what's next, but you're not ready to talk about it. You have some things on your heart that you'd like to say, but you're not going anywhere, you're not doing anything. You're simply dreaming. You're in dreaming mode, which is perfect. Once we level up, we want to rest, we want to recuperate, we want to regroup, and see what the next stage of our life has for us, or our year, or whatever has for us. So to the moon and back, you're dreaming about what's next. What happens after this change? You're not ready to go anywhere, though. You're just thinking about it. All right, Gemini. Here's your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. That is so weird. We have one accidental reversal. I have not seen this card since I pulled out this deck, and I keep the deck all one way, one orientation. So this is a reversal that's been sitting here waiting for you for a very long time, months and months and months and months. Yeah. All right, so we'll get there. In your recent past, strength, inner strength, taming the inner beast, getting control over some sort of part of yourself that was wreaking havoc in your life, perhaps. It's taken all of your strength to silence this beast, to get control over this beast. I sense a little bit of play here. There's something about something that you were doing. You've enjoyed, there's a certain amount of pleasure here. You've enjoyed wrangling this beast to the ground. Maybe it made you feel powerful. It helped you feel strong, to get some self-control, to get control over something that's been, gnashing its teeth and thrashing around inside of you, and or in your life, something in your life, or your emotions or your feelings. Just I feel a sense of you feeling very strong. You feeling strong. You feeling powerful as you turned this corner in your life, or wrestled some inner part of yourself to the ground. In your current situation, you're dealing with justice. What's fair? What's good? It could be the legal system right now. You could be embroiled in some sort of legal system situation. But there is a sense of the scales being balanced, and some sort of, she's what is she? I wish I knew. Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. the key to something, the scales, the balance. This is the Libra card, but she's coming in a little more brutal than Libra usually would come in my mind. A scythe here, perfectly balancing beauty and cruelty. Wait, I don't know if that's what I meant to say. That's what came out though. She's got a real angel of death vibe here, and she's got her harvester. So there's some sort of like intense justice situation coming in here. Either you're bringing that in, and it's taken all of your strength here to bring in this justice, or you're currently embroiled or in a situation where justice is being served here to somebody. Some sort of fairness is coming in, some sort of justice, scales being balanced, maybe even karmic justice. Maybe even, you know, someone has their little karmic bus coming for them, and you've decided not to stand in its way, not to save somebody from something that they have well earned. That's not you bringing it in. That's the universe just bringing. You know, sometimes people, I don't know. You can't save everybody. Sometimes they need to learn a lesson. You don't need to teach it to them. Life will teach it to them. Other circumstances will teach it to them. You don't need to interfere there. But there could be some justice coming. I mean, really, like, you don't want to interfere with someone having to learn a hard lesson either, right? You don't need to interfere to create the hard lesson for them, but you also don't need to interfere to prevent them from learning it. You know, if somebody is coming to work drunk, don't stand in their way. This is something they need to learn about, that they need to deal with. Like, don't be covering for that, right? So it could be that it's taken all your strength maybe to get out of the way of justice coming, or maybe maybe it's taken your strength to access the justice system. Didn't you guys get justice recently? So you were supposed to bring justice in. I can't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter that much. But this is this reading, right? This is this deck. So this justice card is a little bit scarier than most other justice cards. It's a little bit intense. A little bit intense. And then what's at issue? I find very interesting. This is our reversal, our accidental reversal that's been waiting for you for months and months here. Normally, 7 of Cups would be feeling overwhelmed, having lots of options, trying to pick the best one for you, trying to pick the one that's growing. But I feel like in this situation, you don't have a lot of options. And that's really weighing heavily on you. You don't feel like you have a lot of options here. You wanted more options. You wanted more possibilities. But you may just be feeling like you don't have any. There's not a lot of good options going on. I mean, the upright would be like being overwhelmed by lots of possibilities. And this is like not seeing the possibilities. Not being overwhelmed by the possibilities. There may just be one cup here, and you're either going to take it or you're going to die of dehydration, you know? Or there's just not the options, or you're worried that you're going to end up without any options. You're definitely not, you're not overwhelmed by options, that's for sure. I feel like maybe you're worried that you don't have any, or worried that you have very limited options, and that's weighing on you right now, is very limited options. And what's at issue here is this 4 of Swords. This is an intense reading. This Justice card just brought in intensity, heaviness. She's heavy. She's very intense. She feels like she's sucking the air out of the room. She almost has this like radiation coming from her, which I don't think you'd be able to, I don't know if you can see that. Around her head, it's radiating, but it almost feels like it's sucking something towards her. Like the air in the room. Already you come into this situation. Maybe you come into the situation feeling very strong. But whatever you've already been through has taken all of your strength already. And I feel like this justice situation, this could be dealing with the legal system too, and just not feeling like you have any options. And then you get this reverse Four of Swords as what's at issue. So Four of Swords in the upright would be nap time, time to regroup. Oh, this is this card. Time to regroup, time to take a break from whatever something happened, something changed fundamentally with you and your life. And this would be a card of regrouping, resting, thinking about the future. And that's what Four of Swords would normally be, is the rest, the nap, the regroup. But in the reverse, we get it's been postponed. The regrouping, the rest that you've been needing has been postponed too long, and now there's sickness, or the situation is much worse. This isn't just needing a nap. This is needing to be hospitalized. This is needing to be, this is much more than just getting a nap and that regrouping. That nap and that regrouping was supposed to happen a long time ago. You avoided it, or somebody avoided it. Somebody's been avoiding something, and it's real with this Justice card, and it's narrowed down the options. And there's, this reading felt heavy just suddenly. There's not a lot of options here. There's not a lot of options. What's going on? And there's this, this would be, the nails being hammered into the coffin here. Like, it's much more than just needing a rest, needing a break. There might be a forced break or a forced rest coming in for you. You could have been fired. You could have been dumped. Something where you were supposed to have, taken a week off of work and kind of gotten yourself together a little bit and regrouped, and you didn't do that. Or you guys had just needed to take a break, or you weren't supposed to be, I don't know. It just seems like you weren't, and Gemini is always really hard for me to read. It is a very hard sign for me to read typically. And I don't want it to get too heavy, but it does sometimes. Anyway, so reverse Four of Swords. There we have it. You've got some sort of... It's a pretty serious card, honestly. You've been fighting something very, very hard here. But you've run out of options. Justice is coming in. Or you're trying to bring in some justice. But it went on. It's like something feels really wrong with this reading. I don't mean to freak anyone out. That's what feels so wrong about it, is that I don't like readings that freak people out. But I'm like, what on earth? This Justice card feels so heavy. The Seven of Cups is running out of options. No options left. This reverse Four of Swords is possibly one of my least favorite cards in the deck, but I've gotten it before and I never died, and I wasn't hospitalized. It's maybe not as bad as I'm feeling it. That Justice card just kind of has me tripped up here. So then you have the King of Wands here. Someone in your environment who's not me right now is charismatic, leadership. They're pointing the way. They know. They're pointing actually directly to the moon and back, to this rest period, this rest and recuperation period. So maybe this Four of Swords is just coming in really heavy for me, as like, really take a nap, really take some time off. Take time out of whatever is going on here, whatever is required, all of your strength. Take time out here. But you got a King of Wands here, and he's charismatic. People tend to listen to him. This is probably a real person in your life. It could, if you're accessing the Justice person, this could be a really good attorney. That's people are going to listen to. He's pointing the way. People are going to follow him. He's a natural leader, very inspiring, very exciting. If you are accessing the legal system this week, I think you've got someone on your side that's a very effective communicator and is working hard for you. So it's not you that's coming in as this King of Wands, it's somebody else. Somebody that might, it could be somebody that you've been doing battle with, right? Male or female, who's very charismatic and people tend to listen to them. And they've kind of maybe required all, I mean, it's sitting right underneath the strength card. So maybe this person is very strong and is going to take on your strength that you are getting depleted on. Oh, because you've had to be so strong for so long. And this is just ultimate depletion, right? Just totally depleted. So maybe there's someone coming in here that's going to be able to carry your burden for you. And people are going to be able to listen to them where they weren't able to listen to you, right? And then you have this, and that's what's going to be fair about the situation. That's what's possibly going to bring in some justice here. Excuse me. Then you have this Nine of Pentacles. You've achieved something, right? With this strength card and with this pure nature, you have leveled up. And the Nine of Pentacles is looking to the next level. What's at the next level? What do I do now? I have acquired and achieved so very much. So maybe what it is, and it's sitting underneath this Justice card too. So maybe what it is talking about you having, this strength, this inner strength. You've achieved a lot. You have overcome so much. Look, he's climbed up this Tower of Pentacles. He's overcome so much. And there is some unsettled energy here, but he's going to keep climbing, keep growing, keep building his empire. So I feel like this is a call to continue to be strong, to look up, to look for the next level, to look, and to keep growing, keep building on what you've already achieved and acquired. Yes, it's taken all of your strength, but it's time for you to look. This Four of Swords is ultimate depletion, but your to-do list is I think it's to appreciate how far you've come. To really appreciate how far you come, how you're no longer in this situation that required all of your strength. And that's what this is too, this leveling up, appreciating how far you've come, how far you've grown, like something you have really leveled up here. And hopefully this Justice card is just being fair to yourself, being fair to other people, maybe viewing your victory more fairly, the victories that you have, everything that you have accomplished, coming into a sense of being fair to yourself, and maybe giving yourself this much needed break. And I mean, but we do have the Seven of Cups here. So this is your inner landscape. You don't see the options. But this is saying what you do need to see is how far you've come and what you've overcome and what you've done and all the work that you've already put in. You may be feeling like you don't have any options because you're not in this space. You're not in the space of feeling proud of yourself, feeling good about what you've done, feeling, yeah. So this could be regrouping. This Four of Swords could be really taking a break. Like, I'm serious. It's time to take a break. And you didn't. There was no break here. But this is also about regrouping. And I feel like this card right here to the Moon and back is about rest and regrouping and planning for the future and appreciating where you've come. Appreciating this massive change you just went through. You went through a really big change, and it's time to appreciate it, to revel in it, whatever that change got you. Whatever you wanted it, you worked for it, whatever it got you, it's time for you to appreciate it and come into a sense of accomplishment and sense your accomplishment and see your accomplishment and feel as accomplished and as in control and as you are to achieve something. This card is about achievement and success. And then where you're going, Six of Swords, you're leaving something painful behind. You're leaving something very difficult, very painful behind. You're taking some first steps. Okay, so you've accomplished something, you've achieved something. I think I'm seeing this Four of Swords as a command to rest. This Nine of Pentacles is to appreciate where you are and to regroup for the next steps. And then the Six of Swords as then you take the next step. This is a physical card. This is a card of physical movement away from a place, a person, a situation that is not working for you, that has become much worse than the unknown, right? We tend to prefer the familiar, the devil we know to the devil we don't. This is the devil you know has become so horrible that you're moving on, possibly even physically, to you don't even give a shit where you're moving. You just know anything's better than this. So so that's what I feel, you know, this regrouping, this sense of accomplishment, understanding how strong you really are, how strong you have been, and looking to make the next steps and planning out the next steps, thinking about the next steps. And then the next step would be this Six of Swords, actually moving someplace or moving away from the devil you know, because the devil you know it's depleting. I mean, we have basically four cards here of depletion. We have the strength. Okay, yeah, you've been strong, but you're depleted. After a wrestling match like that, you're going to need some Gatorade and a little snack, okay? And a nap probably, and a massage and a bath, a hot bath. And then we've got this reverse Seven of Cups. We've got not feeling like you've got options, very depleted. This reverse Four of Swords, very depleted, not feeling energetic, not feeling good about where you're at, needing to take a break. And then the Moon and Bag, taking a break, recuperate. So there's a lot of recuperation, and part of your recuperation is appreciation for how far you came in the situation that did require all of your strength. All right, Gemini, we got one more card here. We're going to add a little wild Kuan Yin oracle at the end here. Anything? Cool. I love how polite this deck is. It does one card at a time. Okay, some unbalanced energy, feeling a little ungrounded, looking for guidance. Here's your guide right here. You've got a guide. You have someone helping you. You have someone leading the way. You need to listen to their advice. This King of Wands is someone whose advice is going to be sound. You need to listen to it. Other people are going to listen to it too. Divine Mother's love. If we don't trust our divine connection, we can feel like a lost child, uncertain, insecure, and afraid. Yet when that child knows that the mother is always there, waiting, naturally stepping in when needed, but otherwise trusting in the child's ability to live his own life, then getting lost for a time is just part of the adventure. It's not frightening, it's freeing. Okay, well, all right, so a little unbalanced here, but it's just a moment. You're going to be coming back onto your path soon, but right now you are off of it. I mean, you're feeling off of it. I don't think you're off of it, but you're just temporarily feeling lost, which I can see supported here. This Nine of Pentacles could also be Pentacles being earth energy, could be feeling grounded, getting grounded in where you're at. But there's unsettled energy in both of these cards, a lot of unsettled energy, and this is a lot of unsettled energy too here. But all right, Gemini, I hope it didn't scare you or freak you out. Everything's going to be okay, I think is what we're saying here. So I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for your likes, comments, and subscribes. They're very much appreciated.